Welcome to the Week 7 review and announcements video. Let's talk about the announcements first. This week, you must turn in your Art of the Day assignment. Remember that Art of the Day assignment is due in PDF format, and your presentation must include the biography of your assigned artist, a statement written about that artist or something written by the artist must be included. So lots of famous artists have work that is written about them. The people who write those works are called critics. And so look for something written about that artist's artwork. You must include 10 to 15 images of different artworks made by that artist. Also, your opinion. I want to know, why do you like or not like the artist's work? So there are two things that are written that you need to submit, and submit it as part of the slide presentation on different slides. Make it just a few sentences long. Something written by some art critic or something about the artwork of that artist, and also your opinion on the artist. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Why? For each image, 10 to 15 images, you need to include the medium, size, and year. All of your information on your slides must be clear, concise, and factual. It should take 5 to 10 minutes for me to read through your slides in my presentation. Again, I am reading the slides. I'm not asking you to read the slides. So make them clear and make them able to be read by me. You're going to save them as a PDF and upload them to Blackboard. In your long assignments on Blackboard, we have the Art of the Day. And this, again, will show you what's going on. Here's the handout, and then you're going to turn in your Art of the Day presentation here. Upload the file there. All right, it's worth 50 points. It needs to be turned in by the end of this week. Our next announcement is... All right, what's going on? So this week we are talking about Chapter 5 and Chapter 6. I want you to brace yourself. These are both really long lectures. It's going to be an hour for here. Maybe this isn't quite as long. This is maybe 30 or 40 minutes. So you have to sit through both of these lectures. You do not have to take a quiz this week. There is no quiz this week. Focus on what's called the 4 exercises. The 4 exercises is an assignment that is assigned this week, and it is due by the end of this week. Next week is our midterm exam, and these 4 exercises are designed for you to practice, or sort of a low stakes exercise, so that we can be prepared for our exam. So there's no quiz and there's no Finsta post. There is a link to our 4 exercises assignment. You can go ahead and click that, or you can head up to long assignments and then 4 exercises, and then you'll have 4 quizzes. These quiz style, these exercises. So these exercises, I'm asking you to write a little bit more than your normal quizzes, but they are still only 5 questions long. And so complete these, and we'll go over the answers next week. Let's look at our slides from last week. Last week we spoke about light and color. And light. What is light? We talked about that. Value and contrast. So value is a description of lightness to darkness. If you're looking at something that's full of color, you're going to look at it as though you're colorblind, or you're looking through a black and white television. All you can see is black and white. So what is the degree of difference between the darkest dark and the lightest light? That is contrast. When you're looking at something through the lens of a black and white television, that is value. So value pattern is how the artwork is organized, how it is structured. We have high contrast on the left, low contrast on the right. It's low contrast because the darkest darks and the lightest lights are close together, close to each other in the spectrum. On the left side, we've got dark darks and light lights. They are very far from each other on the spectrum. Therefore, that is high contrast. And so I would describe this painting as being divided left and right for the value pattern. Low contrast on the right, high contrast on the left. Color, additive color. Color that is mixed by light. Subtractive colors, color that is created by mixing pigments, like finger painting. Also, newspaper and magazine printing, subtractive color. The color wheel. Hue is the correct word for color when you're, talking about art. Our primary hues, yellow, red, blue. Our secondary hues are halfway between our primaries. So we have green, orange, violet. Tertiary hues are between those, are between the primary and secondary. So we have blue, violet. We have a red. I'm sorry. Oh, that's secondary. That's orange. So we have a red orange. We have a yellow orange. On and on. Analogous colors are ones that are related to red. So or yellow or green or blue. And they tend to be next to each other on the color wheel. So all of the colors with red here in them are analogous colors. You can have a set of analogous colors that are green. So green is made of yellow and blue. So everything that's got yellow in it, up to yellow, everything that's got blue in it, up to blue, those are analogous colors as well. Color scheme. So these are complementary colors, opposite of the color wheel. So we have yellow and violet. Value. The lightness or darkness of a hue. So we've got a yellow, less yellow. We have black down here. So value is, say, on the left side here, white to black. That is value. Saturation is left to right. That is saturation. Whiteness to yellow. That's how much yellow there is. This is how much black there is. Cool colors, warm colors, local and optical color. So local color is what is actually there. Optical color is what looks like it's there. So this color looks different than that color. That is optical color. But it is in fact the same color. So if you were to zoom in, we've got local color. Arbitrary color is color that just don't make sense. All right. What is actual texture? Actual texture is texture that is real, texture that will cut you, texture that is rough on your fingertips or smooth or silky on your fingertips. That is actual texture. This sculpture has an actual texture. It's very rough. But this painting has a visual texture. Very glassy if you were to touch it, very smooth. So all that texture in her hair and the sweater, that is visual texture because it is fake. It is made, it is there to just to imply texture. Visual texture. Subversive texture is texture that is unexpected. Often it's gross. It undermines what you believe an object to be. That is subversive texture. Pattern is something that is predictable. All right, that's the review of last week. Let's look at our quiz from last week. If we can, shoot. All right, so we had Andy Warhol here 9 times. The question: describe the value pattern of the artwork. What values are in the artwork and how is value organized within it? There are different ways I'm sure you could have come to answer this question, but this is my answer. Overall, this artwork is mostly medium to low contrast. There are 9 different frames in this artwork, a grid of 3 by 3, and there are subtle contrast differences between each section. For example, the top left has a value that is mid-tone gray and is extremely low contrast, whereas the top center image has the highest contrast where the darker value is charcoal gray and the lighter value is off-white. Describe the color pattern in the art. The color pattern is again how color is organized on the artwork. That is similar to value pattern, which is how value would be organized on the artwork. The artwork is a mix of warm and cool colors. The predominant color family is analogous to red, including orange and violet. The second color family is analogous to blue, including shades of green and blue-green. Many of the colors are high saturation, especially the warm hues, but the cooler colors tend to be less saturated. As the artwork is divided into 9 distinct panels, the color pattern tends to shift slightly within each image. So lots of variety, but it tends to be warmer. Describe the texture of the artwork. Is the texture actual, visual, subversive, or any combination of those words? The artwork uses visual texture because it is flat and cannot be felt. There is a bit of subversive texture in the top right image which distorts the figure, but really most of the visual texture appears natural and is in the hair of each figure. I see texture mainly in the hair. That is visual texture. Is there a discernible pattern in the artwork, and describe it? There is a definite pattern in the artwork because the subject matter repeats itself predictably. Although there are 2 separate analogous color families, red and blue, the actual hues shift locations, value, and saturation between each image. There is no real discernible pattern of color throughout the work. So what I'm saying is there is a pattern in design for each panel, but there is no discernible pattern for color because you can't predict what the next sequence would be. So no discernible pattern for color. Describe the subject matter in this artwork. The artwork contains an image of the same person repeated 9 times and placed into a grid. The person in the image is a man holding his hand to his chin and is looking towards the viewer, appearing to be inquisitive or thoughtful. According to the artwork title, this is a self-portrait, and the image repeated is the artist Andy Warhol. Subject matter, Andy Warhol looking smart. All right, lastly, I want to check out Instagram. And Sorry, I didn't have it logged in. Okay, so let's check out some of our recent posts on Instagram. The prompt was text. What was the prompt? Do, do, do. All right, I wanted to know actual texture. I wanted to see artwork that showed actual texture. And so this piece looks like it's by George Siegel. Yes, George Siegel. Walk, don't run. Plaster, cement, metal. This is really great. This is a really nice actual texture. This is another one by George Siegel. Interesting. I think I got a lot of those. Nice. Wow, lots of George Siegel. All right, so Bobby included this painting. I think it's a good example. I'm not familiar with this. I guess the artist hopefully came from the presentation. Impasto texture, impasto painting. So impasto painting is painting that is put on there real thick and you can touch it. It's got a texture to it. This collage by Jean Dubuffet. Because this is a collage, what collages are all about is it's layers of material. So if you were to run your fingers along this, you would feel the edges of the paper and whatever the things are that are glued on here. That's a nice one, Caroline. This is cool. I've never seen this before. By Merritt Oppenheim. Wow, these are really nice. Good job, Margaret. I've never seen these before. So actual texture on the gloves. And another one by Merritt Oppenheim. So this is bronze. It is three-dimensional, therefore you can run your fingers along the edges of it. It's got a rough surface and everything. Nice, Jessica. Moises, another George Segal. It must be from last week. It was. Okay. Well, these are really great. Lots of George Segal or Siegel paintings. And it is looking pretty good. These are some great posts, guys. Keep up the good work. Again, focus on your 4 exercises. And we will catch up next week about the 4 exercises. Our midterm exam is next week. You are going to be writing a paper, but you're going to be including definitions and stuff from these exercises in the paper. That's why it's important that we go over it all. Let me know if you have any issues, and I look forward to seeing some answers for the exercises. See you next week.